Okay, hello. We are on lesson 8 of our linear equations unit. Let's just make sure again that we are somewhere we can finish this video. You have a highlighter or something to highlight with. It could be a marker or just a different colored pencil. And then you have a pencil or a pen to take notes. Again, there are going to be no questions within this Edpuzzle, so make sure you pause when you need to. All right, so this is lesson 8, and this is called Systems of Equations. Okay, so we have equations, we have linear equations, we've been graphing linear equations. And when we talk about systems of equations, it sounds like a really weird word. Like system is a way of doing things, but that's not what a system means in this case. We should feel somewhat comfortable graphing lines, but sometimes we need to be asked where two lines intersect or meet. And there are many reasons why we may need to know this. But let's learn how to do it first. When we have two equations of lines, two or more equations of lines, it should say, this is called a system of equations. In order to solve a system, it just means to find what point is common to both lines, or points in some rare cases. Usually when we think about intersecting lines, we think they're only going to intersect at one point. But as you go further on in algebra, you'll realize that that holds true, that maybe sometimes it's more than one point. All right, so exercise 1, it says two lines are given by the equations y equals 5x minus 3 and y equals negative 2x plus 18. Show the point that is the solution to the system of equations. So you're going to take a little note before you even go on. So the solution is the point where two lines meet there is more than one way to find the solution. Today, they're asking us at this point is a solution. So you're simply going to substitute to see if it's true. This is a really good test question. It's very simple. It shows that you understand the vocabulary. So all we're going to do is substitute to see if the solution is true. Okay, I'm going to use a different color for the substitution so we don't get confused. So let's use the equation y equals 5x minus 3 first. So my y is 12, and does that equal 5 times 3 minus 3? So is 12, this is what we're doing in 7th grade right now, that's funny, equal 15 minus 3. Yes, that checks out. 15 minus 3 is 12. Solution checks out. Let's try it with y equals negative 2x plus 18. So my y was 12. Does negative 2x plus 18, negative 2 times 3 plus 18 equal 12? So negative 2 times 3 is negative 6 plus 18. Yes, indeed. That is 12. If we throw that into a calculator, that's what it's going to say. Okay, so we can see it's easy to check where if it's a system, if we're given the points, right? So finding the point on the graph is actually just as simple. We're going to be graphing lines. So to find that point of intersection, we actually have to just graph. So we have for exercise 2, we have two equations right here. The directions actually say graph and label both lines on the grid. So let's consider y equals mx plus b. The first thing we're going to always do is if we're given a b, which is our intersect or y-intersect, we're going to graph that. So let's look at y equals 1/2 x plus 2. So it intersects at positive 2. So let's put a point there. And then m is, again, our slope. So we are going to rise over run. So we rise 1 and then run 2. So we rise positive 1 and we run positive 2. And then now that we have 2 points, we can graph a line. There we go. Okay. That I think is about as accurate I'm going to get on that. So I am going to label that y equals 1/2 x plus 2. All right, let's do the same thing for y equals x minus 1. So this time my intersect is negative 1. So I'm going to put my first point at negative 1. My slope is invisible. It's 1 over 1. Okay, remember when there's no coefficient or there's a negative coefficient, make sure you always use the slope 1 over 1. They don't write it because 1 over 1 equals 1, and 1 times anything is itself. It still exists though. So this is positive though. So it's 1, rise 1, run 1. So change in y, so up 1 to the right 1. Right, these guys are going to intersect at some point. I can already tell. The question is where. So, whoops. I'm going to do this in a different color. I can't find my blue, but that's okay. Oh, it looks like we are going to intersect right there. Okay, I'm going to label this y equals x minus 1. You know how proud I am of you guys for graphing lines? You're so smart. Circle the intersection point of the two lines and write its coordinate below. So I'm going to circle right here. If it looks a little off, these answers are always going to be whole numbers. So we're not getting into decimals and things right now. So just the closest point you can to that intersection. I think this one is at 6 over and then 5 up. So my coordinate would be 6, 5. I think that's what it is. We're going to guess that's what it is. But now we have to see if that works. So we have to plug it into both of our equations. Okay, so my x is 6 and my y is 5. So if I look at my first equation, y equals 1/2 x plus 2, I plug that in, I should have 5 equals 1/2 of 6 plus 2. And what is 1/2 of 6? 3. 3 plus 2 is indeed 5. So it works for that equation. Let's see if it works for the second one. Y equals x minus 1. It looks like it's going to work for that also. Is 5 equal to 6 minus 1? Absolutely. Okay. So we have exercise 3 and exercise 4 are the exact same things that we were doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause and I'm going to let you try to work these out, and we're going to check so this video doesn't take so long. All right. So, but I already talked about this note. Finding solutions to system takes careful graphing. Okay, so make sure when you're graphing at home, you have some sort of straight edge. It doesn't have to be a ruler. It just has to be a straight edge. Okay, so you can grab a book. You can grab a piece of paper. You can grab whatever to help you out with that. All the systems you solve in this course graphically have nice intersection points, one where both coordinates are integers. So we're not going to be seeing points of intersection of fractions or anything like that within any quizzes we take or anything like that. So again, I want you to go ahead and try to solve exercise 3, and then we'll check it, and then you're going to do exercise 4, and then we'll check it. So do exercise 3 right now. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the solution really quickly. All right, I put one complete graph in blue and one in pink, and I'll do the same thing for exercise 4. Okay, so what I did do additionally here, and I want you to notice this, is that I wrote out my slope and my y-intercept, and that might be good test practice for you. So if you didn't do it for exercise 3, copy it down and make sure you're doing it for exercise 4. So I graphed y equals 3/2 x minus 8. Oh, I know what I forgot to do on here. And then I graphed my pink, which was negative 2x was 6. Following all the practice and things we've already done up until this point. What I didn't do is I did not actually circle and label my solution. So where they intersect is right here. And that point is negative 2, positive 4. Okay, so once I found that, it said check your answer. That's where we go and we take the intersection point and we plug it in back into the old, the original equations to see if it's still true. Okay, let's go ahead and look at those. I just use negative 2 and 4. If you need to correct anything, please pause the video and do so. Exercise 4. So again, you should probably do your slope and y-intercept first. Remembering that this first slope, that negative x, I'm just going to give you guys this one because I want you practicing graphing, is negative 1 over 1. So find your slope and y-intercept first of these dudes and then graph them. Find your intersection point and check your answer mathematically. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video. Maybe. All right, go ahead and check your answers. Let me move that guy. Shouldn't be in the way. You move. Good, what did I just do? Okay. Okay. All right, you're going to have some Delta math practice. It'll be assigned under this lesson 8. And you can check back tomorrow morning for your last math lesson. And I'll see you guys later.